Folks, what's up? Welcome to the Scotty P Show. Coming at y'all from sunny Sienda, California. Woo! 2788 Studios. Up in the executive suite. Because when it ain't me by myself doing the Miami Dolphins show, I got another homie here and we talking all them football games. That's when we get the executive suite.
Oh.
We got 4 games this week.
Quattro.
A primetime game, and of course everybody knows who's playing in primetime. I swear they got 11 primetime games this year. Some bullshit.
At least.
We got 2 morning games. We got an afternoon game. Sitting next to me, I got a legend. I got a dude who could paint the bathroom with nothing but a box of red wine and a hole saw. A dude nicknamed the White Tornado. Y'all know who he is. Hillary, Ashley, and Carlton's pops, Mr. Uncle Phil. What's up, big dog?
Hey, what up, man?
Big dog.
Yay.
Sitting right in front of me, the troublemaker,
Toby Doe.
the one who starts everything and finishes everything. He was a little fucked up last week. He was in Miami, so that's why you didn't get to see the second show, but you know, that's back in them archives of a whole bunch of shows. But anyway, y'all know who he is, Toby P.
No, we got all the bitches last week.
Oh, shit, Chili was getting all the bitches earlier today. Jen, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I am the host of your show. I don't need no introduction. Y'all know who I am, like Kevin Durant said. Phil, you ready to talk some football?
Let's vamonos.
Hey, Woozy White Boy, bring us on in.
You did.
What it do? This is Alabama's own Woozy White Boy, and y'all tuned in to the Scotty P Show.
You did.
Let's talk some football, Uncle Phil. Let's talk some football. UNC, Philly D with his West Coast family. White boy drinking brown liquor, Tennessee. White boy drinking brown liquor, Hennessy. That's a sponsor of us, man. Week 3. Let's announce them records, because this is all about them screams. For Christian, this is all about them screams. Both of us went 1-2 last week. Kai Mr. Dose himself also went 1-2 last week. Everybody's sitting at 3-4. We are shooting bad, Uncle Phil. Let's make it better and take it to the whole nother level. We got Kansas City visiting them Atlanta Falcons in the ATL, shawty, which is why we got Mr. Andre 3000 sitting right here.
199.
Not him.
Not 3001.
Which number is it?
Oh, Andre 3000.
Andre
baby.
3K.
Yo.
This is Kansas City's first game away from home this year.
All right.
We got them in prime time. Second primetime game of the year.
Oh, snap.
As I said, they got 11 primetime games this year. Jen, Vic, I know y'all love
Sounds
that
like some
shit.
Glasgow math.
Man, who knows math better than people who attended Glasgow High? I don't know nobody. Y'all know anybody? I don't. So UNC.
What up, dog?
This team, the Atlanta Falcons, played somebody last week. We ain't got to go into that yet.
Somebody.
You know, we ain't got to bring up the history and
Bring up
everything.
old shit. Mm-hmm.
Tell me who you got in this game and why.
Kirk Cousins, the flighted bird killer. I'm not going to bring up old shit. What are you talking about?
Not yet.
Fresh off a late game winning drive.
Heroics.
Heroics.
The hero.
Both squads should have lost last week. Both. B-O-F. Both should have lost. But they came hard in the end. Ooh. Now, the Chiefs haven't looked quite the same lately. What do you expect? 2 Super Bowls in a row, going for that three-peat. But big loss this week is Isaiah Frank Pacheco. He's going to be out with a broken fibula, non-weight-bearing bone, but still, he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks, maybe more. That's a big deal. But the X factor in this game is Mr. Who is your quarterback bitch, Patrick motherfucking Mahomes.
You know who is.
Always find something, I don't know, sidearm, between his legs, around the back, backyard football style. I do believe he's going to find some late game heroics, and they're going to fucking plant Mr. Harrison Buttlicker, or Bucker,
Ooh,
whatever the fuck his
damn.
name is, Harrison Buttlicker. And he's going to fuck around. And you know what? Let's go, Chiefs!
Oh, dog, I thought you was going with the Falcons for a second, man.
Nah, son.
Thought you was playing on everybody's emotions.
Something happened last week. I was
Yeah, you
touched.
can't fuck with
I
them
was
anymore,
touched.
huh?
I was touched by Cousins.
Pacheco's out.
Yeah.
Edwards-Hilaire's out.
Mm-hmm.
You know who they brought back? Mr. Kareem Hunt.
Ooh, Kareem the Dream after 5 years.
5 years in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Now, Jen, can you believe it's been 5 years since that boy left Kansas City? Kareem Hunt is the reason that me and my best friend Jen, the number one fan of the show, the only fight we've ever been in, the only argument we've ever been in, was over when he kicked that little white girl when she was on the ground with his grown-ass running back, man. He kicked the little girl. Things were said. She believed one way. I believed another way. Things were said. Can't even talk about hypotheticals because she was ready to stab you. And Jen always wants to stab a motherfucker. And I get it, but I still think I was right in that argument. But needless to say, I don't think that makes sense. Kareem Hunt's coming back, man. That's going to be one of their running backs. Mahomes' last game, not incredible. 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 interceptions. They ran 150 yards. They held Cincy to 74 yards. Cincinnati also don't have Mixon anymore. Nope. So I don't know if it was Kansas City's defense being that fucking good or Cincinnati's offense not being that good. Either way it goes. But this week, they're going to have to go up against Bijan Robinson. Nah, ain't hook 'em horns. Hook 'em down horns. You know, they can't even do that. The fans can't even do that anymore, or they get called a penalty. Ain't that some bullshit?
Throwing it up or something?
No, when the Oklahoma-Texas game, the Red Rivalry, the Red River Rivalry, Oklahoma does that, horns down. And if a fan does that and it's all caught up on it and the players do it, it's 15-yard penalty. Motherfuckers can get ejected and all
old-fashioned
that
bullshit.
shit. Man, that's some fucking I hate the way the game is going some of these times. Now Atlanta did come off an impressive win. That's after they came off of a depressive loss in the first week to Pittsburgh. Didn't even score a touchdown. Them motherfuckers kicked 6 field goals and beat the Falcons. Now, Kirk Cousins couldn't play very well. Kirk Cousins never lined up under center. He straight took snaps and shotgun the whole time because he couldn't move very well. If you remember, he tore his Achilles last year.
I do.
So he couldn't fucking move very well, and everybody was wondering why is Atlanta starting him when they got that kid from Washington, the lefty, with the 8th pick in the draft after they paid Kirk Cousins $180 million, and they were wondering, what is the deal with this shit? So Kirk Cousins looked really bad, and everybody thought, man, maybe he shouldn't be playing. And then throughout the first half, man, probably half of the third quarter against the team that they played against last week. But then all of a sudden he looked alive. All of a sudden it looked like that damn Achilles was all good and he was ready to move. And they had a comeback win against that team that we ain't talking about. Bijan Robinson, 14 carries, 97 yards. Tyler Algier, 9 carries, 53 yards. That's 7 yards a carry for Robinson. That's 6 yards a carry for Algier. Primetime Kirk Cousins has looked great in big-time games. His team hasn't won a lot, and they put out them stats. If you want to listen to ESPN, you want to listen to Fox, you want to listen to Yahoo News, all those games, not all those games, but a big percentage of those games, the Kirk Cousins team lost. But his actual stats were very good. So watch out because you got him in another primetime game. Mooney made some big catches last week. Drake London, that dude's got some talent. Watch out for him. And, man, Kyle Pitts. If Kansas City is going to focus on Bijan Robinson, you best believe that them 3 receivers are going to be open. And Kirk Cousins, healthy, is going to deliver the passes to those 3. We're in the ATL, shawty.
Yeah.
Home of the Birds.
South's got something to say.
Jen told me I better quit picking against the Chiefs and pick for the Chiefs. Who the fuck is that?
Huh?
Talking about I should pick the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Well, in that motherfucking manner, give me them Chiefs. I got Mahomes anyway, baby. Give me them Chiefs.
You know.
second game, folks. And this one's a morning game. This one's at 10 a.m. Now, we only call it a morning game. I know to the rest of y'all and to the millions and millions of them Scotty P Show fans all around the world, everybody who ain't on the West Coast, these are afternoon games to y'all, but they're morning games to us. 10 a.m. We got them Philadelphia and them New Orleans Saints.
Yo,
Now we talking about
hold
Philly.
up, dog.
Phil-
Hold the
Phil-
fuck up.
I was in the middle of my monologue.
I got something to fucking say about these goddamn motherfucking birds.
I can't finish.
Nope.
Nope.
Uncle Phil got something to say on this one, dog.
I got something to say. Let me back
look,
on
look,
off.
look,
The,
look,
let me
look.
back
Back
on
up
off
off
the
the mic.
microphone.
I need one mic right now.
All I need is one mic.
Motherfucking Eagles, I don't know what the fuck y'all is doing. Howie Roseman, y'all picked this squad. You loaded it full of fucking Georgia Bulldogs, and they ain't nothing but goddamn fat-ass pound puppies. These motherfuckers, slow, fat, out of motherfucking shape, sucking on fucking oxygen on the sidelines, zero pressure, no hand skills, not breaking motherfucking blocks. Just fucking sitting there watching them. They're escorting motherfuckers into the goddamn end zone. Like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is some old-fashioned bullshit. You're going to bring out Nick Foles to retire him as a motherfucking Eagle? You're going to bring out Fletcher Cox?
Kelsey.
You're going to bring out Jason Kelsey in his green-ass Italia motherfucking velour fucking tracksuit with the fucking wife beater and the gold chains, wearing the dog masks on stage for the pregame, and you're going to go out there and shit that motherfucking turd? Ow, what the fuck? Don't blame it on Saquon Barkley. Yeah, he dropped it. He would have caught it 999 times out of a goddamn 1,000, but he missed that one. He should never been put in that position. They should never been put in that position. I know A.J. Brown is out. That's some fucked up bullshit. You know what? Next man up. They got that fool from the foreskins. He didn't do shit. You know what I mean? They had fucking... I don't know what the fuck, you know. They got Devontae Smith,
Roll
number
Tide.
one receiver. But you know what? They didn't dial up damn near enough Dallas Goedert.
I agree.
You know?
Where
Where the fuck was Dallas Goedert? Where the fuck was Dallas Goedert? How many looks did he get? You know what I mean?
Not enough.
And Jalen Hurts still has the wheels. He was running around, rolling around. He actually fucking scrambled to his left instead of to his right because they always got 2-3 guys on him. But, dude, run the fucking ball, run down the motherfucking clock, go for that 3 fucking points in the beginning. You know ATL's getting a ball back in the fucking second half. 3 points is 3 points. But you know what? Fuck it. Don't gamble. It's too early to fucking gamble. And then everybody's putting that shit on Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni doesn't do shit but coach. They got fucking Fangio and Kellen Moore, supposed to be the gurus, picking out all these motherfucking plays, pulling out all this shit, the whispers and fucking talking. They ain't done shit. I don't give a fuck. It's about the person on the field. It's about the man. Coaches coach, players fucking play. Play the goddamn game. Act like you got a motherfucking pair of birds. Come on now. What the fuck is wrong with you? You were at home. You already won in fucking Brazil. That was cool. You had 10 days to motherfucking rest. You gonna come home to the bird's motherfucking nest and shit that? You gonna let Kirk Cousins drive 70 fucking yards on your ass? Coming back and fucking... You're gonna throw a fucking interception? And not even give Jake Elliott a chance to fucking win that goddamn game. That is some fucking bullshit. Anywho.
With that being said,
Where the fuck did this new Derek Carr come from?
aye.
YOLO, a.k.a. Shawa. Fucking the Raiders. He ain't done shit with the Raiders. Now he comes over here and all of a sudden he's balling out. They got fucking Alvin fucking Kamara. They got 80 points in 2 fucking weeks. 2 weeks.
Twice.
Not once, but twice. But look, I mean, I'm so mad at my goddamn birds right now. I can't even fucking think straight. And I was listening to all the broadcasts today. Was watching all that shit on ESPN and other channels. contacted my sources at Google. I was like, you know what? Everybody's talking about them birds going down. They are in New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, Derek Carr. No pressure, no fucking drive, no get. Man, you know what? I'm about ready to say fuck them birds. But you know what? Fuck it. We gonna get right this week. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby! Woo!
The producers are in my ear right here, and they said you used up most of the time. And Scotty P, could you just give us your stats and get on out of here, man? And I get that. Uncle Phil's passionate about his team, man, so we absolutely let him rant when they did some bullshit and lost a game they had no business losing. So I'm just going to pick up the stats right here. Sorry, y'all, it's going to be a little boring, but let's go on here. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Philadelphia, first time away this year. Played at Lincoln Finance of Brazil. El Lincoln Finance. Los Lincoln Finance. Played at Lincoln Finance last week. But unlike KC, they're coming off a loss, although they shouldn't be coming off the loss. Balanced offense for them, right? 30 passes, 36 rushes, 183 yards in the passing game, 186 yards in the rushing game. Barkley ran 100, also had 20 receiving, scored a touchdown. A.J. Brown was out, as you said. Devontae Smith stepped up, had 7 catches for 76 yards, but that ain't enough from your number one receiver. I remember that 4th down at the beginning of the game when y'all went for it and got 0 points out of it. Carlton didn't like the call. I did like the call. I just thought they should have executed it well. The call at the end of the game was absolutely excellent. Just didn't execute it well. You got a young secondary, dog. You got a young secondary, and other than big play Slay, and he kind of choked at the end. But hold on. But when they had that drive at the end of the game to go ahead, y'all were just playing prevent defense, it seemed like it was, and y'all were letting them cut up and run to the outside, catch the ball, and get out of bounds. That's not the defense. So put that on the DC, put that on the head coach. I don't know which one you put it on, but goddamn, man, you can't put it all on the players in that fucking position. And big play Slay, he just got shook at the end. Somebody made a better play than he did, and that's how they scored that touchdown. Now, New Orleans, they're 2-0. 2 wins, 47-10. Now, we'll let that be a wash because I was against the Carolina Panthers, and Bryce Young, roll tide. He got motherfucking benched, and that's all good. But their second win came against y'all's rivals, the Dallas Cowcooters, 44-19. Put up 35 in the first half. 190 rushing yards throughout the game. 242 passing yards. Kamara got the bulk of it, but best believe Jamal Williams was on there. Carr hasn't had to throw a lot, but he's been efficient. 19-23 in the first game for 200 yards. 11 of 16. Only threw the ball 16 times in that game against Dallas, but 243 yards. 5 touchdowns in those 2 games and only 1 interception. They got Taysom Hill, who's out there running the ball, being awesome. One of my favorite names in the league. Not one of my favorite players, but one of my favorite names in the league. Rashid Shaheed. That's just a cool fucking name to me. Defense held Dallas to 19 points. 4 field goals and 1 touchdown. Kamara, 2 receptions also. 65 yards and a touchdown. So on paper, as I see New Orleans whooping that motherfucking ass and Philly winning their game in Brazil at El Lincoln Finance,
Portuguese all over that asshole.
but beating the Atlanta Falcons and then choking in the end, because all it took was a 3rd and 3 conversion and the game's over, and they throw the ball to Barkley, who's one of the best players, not only best running backs, but best players in the league, and it hits him in the hands. He catches that ball and takes off, and then the game's over. Philadelphia's 2-0, and they're playing New Orleans, who's 2-0. This game's down in the Superdome. Nolans, home of Lil Weezy, home of Master P and them boys. This is the first time we're going to disagree this year, Uncle Foo. Give me them New Orleans Saints. Third game, folks, we got them Detroit Lions visiting the Arizona Cardinals off in Phoenix, where I will be next weekend. Not the Cardinals. Chill out, bro. Bro, don't be the ops, bro. I will be in Phoenix next weekend, and we might go see a game. It won't be against the Lions. It's going to be against them Washington. What the fuck is a motherfucking Commander? All good. We're going to see Nobe. It's his birthday. Matt, Gil's going to be there. Greedy Man's going with us. Oh, it's going to be a fun weekend. But this being the third game, don't get it twisted like twisted like Keith Sweat and them did. This ain't the least interesting game of the week.
Nope.
We don't have a least interesting game of the week this
At
year
all.
on this show. Not in season quattro.
Nope.
Nah, man, because we ain't talking about nothing but good games. We ain't got them New York Giants on this year.
Little Giants.
We ain't got the Cricket Man on this year, man. We talking nothing but good games. This is an afternoon game, our one and only afternoon game this week.
right.
This is Harold's team.
My dad. Hell yeah.
Big Pops, the one who taught you how to cook squirrel to eat. In honor of Harold, tell me why these Detroit Lions are going to revenge that loss they had last week to them Tampa Bay Buccaneers and win this game, UNC, Philly D.
Look, man. Them Tards balled out last week with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did all right. And Mr. Kyler Murray with his fucking perfect passer rating. That dude killed it last week. On the other side, Detroit was stymied by the Bucs' big fat D. They just swabbed it all over in the fucking face, man. But I expect Dan Campbell to get him right. I know I said that last week probably, but Dan Campbell ain't up for this shit right now, dog. I mean, they have playoff aspirations. They're ready to go. I mean, they should have gone further last year. They fucked up, but man, you can't lose against goddamn Cardinals, especially against a former Eagles coach. That bastard. Anyway, I don't expect the Cardinals to keep it up. Ooh, they're a flash in the pan, dog. They're going out this week. Dad, this is for you. Let's go, Lions!
Arizona Cardinals had a decent game against the Bills. Jumped out to an early lead. Could have kept on running that, but didn't. And the Bills, who are, man, throughout the first 2 weeks of the season, looked like they're the best team. I know it's early. I know it's fucking early, and we're going to get to that shit. But they had a lead on them. Didn't win that one. Came out last week, whooped some ass. And they're back at State Farm Stadium. Big what's up to YB because he's a State Farm employee.
What's that?
It's at his home stadium. Again, where I'll be. Matter of fact, hey, YB and Karina are coming up to see me and Greedy in Phoenix next weekend. We're going to play a round of golf, go out to eat, go watch a Padres game. The Padres are playing the Diamondbacks. It got playoff implications. Y'all know I'm a Braves fan. I need San Diego to beat Arizona. Arizona's falling, and Atlanta gets in there. We have too many injuries, and it doesn't look like we're making the postseason, but keep that faith, Braves Nation. Chop, chop. We're going to go, but we ain't talking baseball right now. We talking football.
Even Tommy asked about YB.
Kyler Murray. I ain't even going to call him Kyler no more. His name is Video Game Murray. That dude escapes the pocket like Mahomes does, but unlike Mahomes does because it's in a completely different way. Mahomes will just slide up a little bit and slide a little bit more and just make it very smooth. Very, very smooth and get to where he needs to and throw the ball or run the ball and just get the first down, get out of bounds. Kyler Murray will wait till that fucking defender is at his ankles and then just jump off and move around. I can't remember if the game was John Elway's quarterback, Tecmo Bowl, or what the deal was, but there was a play back in the day, and it was the reverse when you were picking your play. And if you got to the reverse and you hit B, 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 and it would switch between reverse and whatever the other play was, and then when the ball was snapped, the quarterback was faster than everybody on the field, and you could just run circles around the whole defense and make them chase you. And I'm talking about 1989, 1990, 1991 video games, but it was a glitch in the game, or maybe they made it that way on purpose, and people who knew how to do it did it, but your quarterback was just faster than everybody. And that's what Kyler Murray is. And, man, I don't know what his deal was last year, and they were telling him that he had to watch this many amount of hours of film each week, and it just kind of got to him, and it was some bullshit. And now he's got the new offensive coordinator in there, and he's like, hey, man, go to work. Do what the fuck you do. And he sure enough goddamn has. And, again, he had a hiccup in the second half against the Bills. That's okay. That's the fucking Bills, man. That's somebody who's went to the AFC Championship multiple times in the past few years. Kyler Murray, 17-21, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also had 5 runs for 59 yards. They ran for 231 yards. That's James Conner and them. They ran the ball like a motherfucker. 40 times to 20 passes.
Damn.
Now, if you're going to do 66% run and 20% pass, that means two things. One of two things. Either you don't have a good enough passing game, which obviously they do, or your running backs and your offensive line is dominating that much where you're just going to keep on going. And that's what they did on that. They were 7 for 11 on third down conversions. That's a big deal, man. It's just like in basketball. Once you defend everybody, they put up the shot after 24 seconds, hits the rim, they get the rebound and get another possession. That's the same way it is when you let somebody get a third down conversion, man. It demoralizes your team. They were doing that shit. Mr. Video Game Murray. I can't show y'all the highlights on here. I can't show y'all the highlights because we ain't got the rights to the highlights. But maybe I will make a phone call to Uncle Phil and he can contact his sources at Google and see if they know somebody who can get us to the rights of the highlights of Mr. Video Game Murray.
I will do my best.
Talk to them breasts. Detroit's 1-1. Goff had 300 yards, but that's on 55 attempts. That's not a lot. That's not very good. No touchdowns. 2 picks. They could not get the ball past them pylons. You're not going to win a lot of games off of that. You know how many yards the Detroit Lions had? Would you like me to contact your sources at Google? Hey, sources at Google, could you tell me how many yards the Detroit Lions had last week?
How many?
450 yards of offense and 1 touchdown. 450 yards of offense, and they only come up with 16 points. That's not gravy train.
Nope.
That ain't biscuits and gravy. And as my best friend Matt DeMody, who I'm going to see in Phoenix, I'll keep saying that because y'all know I love Arizona. I fucking love Arizona. The 2 times I've been there, we partied so well. Quit hitting the microphone, dog. And we going to be there next weekend, and we go party, and it's going to be hell. And I'm going to love Arizona even more after that.
Are you gonna
But
bullshit?
as Matt DeMody said, Goff's going to golf. Even though in that first week, Goff is the one who came back. Wasn't really Goff. It was more like give the ball to David Montgomery and let him fucking drive the ball the whole time, which they did a few times this game, even though Gibbs got more yards and a couple more carries. But either way, they've been run dominant both times, and they should have won both games, but they didn't. So I guarantee this run game is going to be prevalent on the Lions side. It's going to be prevalent on the Cardinal side. But the game's in Arizona. The game's at State Farm. You got Video Game Murray. So am I going with another bird? Hell no. I'm going with my favorite animal in the motherfucking history of Earth's animals and my best friend and Harold's team giving them Detroit Lions.
Rawr.
Last game of the week, folks. And we ain't got a game of the week. There's no game of the week assigned, but this is the last one of week 3. Talking about them Houston Texans, 2-0. At the Minnesota Vikings, 2-0. My boy who I've wanted to talk about, my favorite player in the league right now, even though he's from a team that I hate. I got immense hate for them motherfucking Buckeyes, but it's my boy C.J. Stroud.
OH!
I don't know about all that shit, dog. But DeMeco Ryans is their coach. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Will Anderson is the leader of that defense. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
They go against Minnesota Vikings, who are 2-0. And their week 1 win. Whatever. It was what it was, but it's a win. You're going to pass it off? I don't know. Is it that impressive? Well, if that wasn't impressive, week 2, they went to San Francisco 49ers up in Candlestick. Got up in that ass like a porn star. But it's 2-0 and 2-0. And it's in Minnesota. I would say they're playing in the cold, but Minnesota plays inside. But you in motherfucking C with his West Coast motherfucking family. White boy drinking brown, licking motherfucking Tennessee. White boy drinking brown, licking motherfucking Hennessy. Like Bruce Lee. You got some notes? Did Note Dogg give you some notes?
No
dog.
We got them Texans at mini scrotum. I just love saying that. The Vikings are looking decent at this point. They beat the Little Giants, and they beat the Christian McCaffrey. Jason Kelsey said that, so I can say it too.
Yeah.
Less 49ers. So, hey, they 2-0. C.J. Stroud ain't no motherfucking Brock Pretty Mouth, though. He a little bit better than he is. He a little more flexible, a little more scramble. He got a little more scramblability.
Scrimmo.
He like eggs. Anyway, this will be a close one. If the Vikings keep the turnover battle close, because under their current regime, their current coach, they are 19-0 when they are up in the turnover battle. But the only problem is C.J. Stroud has yet to throw a pick, and they've only lost one fumble so far.
Okay.
So you can't count on them dropping the ball. Now, I do believe the Texans have better skill position players all around the board. One thing I want to keep my eye on is Justin Jefferson. He's got a quad injury. He's not exactly 100%.
Yep.
The Vikings did not place him on injured reserve. He's going to be playing. How well will he be playing? I don't know. But it don't fucking matter because can't say hook 'em horns. Let's go Texans!
Damn. The Kansas City hook 'em horns.
Yeah.
I don't know what that meant, but okay.
Me neither.
It was almost like when I picked the fucking
the Rams.
Bucks to win the
damn it.
Lions Cardinals game.
I don't know why. Did I say Kansas City? God damn it.
Oh, Minnesota is 2-0. The first week, they beat them New York Giants. Again, the Cricket Man and them New York Giants ain't too worried about them. So you say that's not impressive. And Sam Darnold's their quarterback. You're like, okay, well, it's Sam Darnold, back up from USC, and they're playing the Giants, who lost your boy Saquon Barkley, who missed the pass at the end of the game to win the game, and he lost the game.
Bullshit.
And, you're like, hey, man, they just beat the Giants. But as I said, they went into San Francisco, and they beat the McCafferty-less San Francisco 49ers. I love that Jason Kelsey said McCafferty, and I recorded that shit and showed you and Jen, because that shit's awesome.
Hell yeah.
But Sam Darnold was 17 for 26 last week, 66% of his passes, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. They also ran for 150, excuse me. Jefferson had 4 receptions, 133 yards, touchdown. Did what the fuck he does. Best receiver in the league, even though your boy over there in Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, wants to get paid, is getting paid now. But either way, they were 2 of the best. I also got my motherfucking boy Tyreek Hill, who is obviously the number 1 best receiver in the league. He was voted by his peers as the number 1 player in the motherfucking league, even though obviously Patrick Mahomes is that dude. But we finally talking about Houston. We ain't talking about Minnesota. Yeah, why did he say it like that? Because I said it like that in season 2 when me, Phil, and Vic were sitting over in that corner, and Victoria was painting that motherfucking painting right there. And it was right when baseball playoffs started, and the Padres, the Dodgers, the Phillies, and Atlanta had all made it, and we had all 4 of those hats sitting on there. Eddie, put up that fucking picture real quick. And we all were sitting on there, and I said the Minnesota Vikings. I hit a stutter. Did I stutter? Oh, I stuttered like a motherfucker. And that's all good. So it's Houston against Minnesota. Houston, the only reason we hadn't talked about them yet, first weekend was Indianapolis. And they were on the honorable mention. Just like I forgot to mention the honorable mentions earlier. Remember I told you to tell me about that before Game 3? Well, we never went into that shit. So let's go into that now. Honorable mentions this week was Los Angeles Chargers versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Both teams 2-0, but they didn't get the nod. We only got 4 games we could talk about. And we are absolutely going to talk about the Baltimore Ravens and Dallas Cowboys. But Baltimore is 0-2, and New Orleans, man, put that ass whooping on the Dallas Cowboys. So we ain't talking about the Cowboys, and the New Orleans Saints about to put that ass whooping on the Eagles. But I ain't even going all the way there. So as I said, DeMeco Ryans, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Will Anderson, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
C.J. Stroud.
O-H.
I don't know about all that shit. And they got this boy named Nico Collins out there. You know where he played? At Harold's favorite college team, Maize and Blue. Hail to the victors, I said. Hail to the victors, I said. Hail to to Michigan, the champions of the world.
Mike Hill loves them.
Sorry, I probably butchered that song right there, Matt and Jason, Doug and Kathy. That's my bad on that one, but you still get the point I'm making. Now, Nico Collins is a badass receiver, and I ain't even going into Stephon Diggs, who plays with him. I ain't even going into Joe Mixon, who plays with him. But Nico Collins, big badass receiver. I knew he was a badass receiver, watching him at Michigan, watching him last year at Texans. But as I was watching the game on Sunday night, they were showing videos of him compared to Andre Johnson. Nico's about as big as Andre Johnson. Not as big, but we're talking about a Hall of Famer, Andre Johnson. So you out there with Stephon Diggs. You're out there with Nico Collins. You're out there with Joe Mixon. Man, and my homeboy Tyrus, who we're going to see in Phoenix, and I will keep mentioning that next week. His girl, her son, plays for the Texans.
Damn, really?
Johnny Johnson III from the University of Oregon Ducks is a Houston Texan.
Quack,
So
quack.
absolutely I'm for them. So with that being said, and Sam Darnold being the quarterback up there in Minnesota, C.J. Stroud from I don't know about all that. Nico Collins from Maize and Blue. Will Anderson from Roll Tide. D'Amico Ryans running the whole show from Roll Tide. I'm taking my favorite player in the NFL right now, and that's C.J. Stroud. Give me them Tyrus Noble, them Sherry, them Nico Collins, them Stephon Diggs, them Will Anderson, them D'Amico Ryans, them Johnny Johnson III. Houston Texans, baby. Give me them Texans. And I ain't got no sign to throw up because I don't know what to do. Now, with that being said, you know who takes us on out?
Real quick, can I hit something one time?
One
We
time.
did but we forgot one person.
Who that?
One big person.
Actually,
It's a little person. Somebody care very much about. Miss you, maybe. Let's give it up to B. Boo!
Woo! Why are we giving her a big what's up? I don't know, but we love you,
Yeah, I
Vic.
thought I threw in some flowers.
And with that little bit, I know, Woozy, we told you to take us out a few seconds ago. A lot of fucking unfinished words have been incomplete in that little bit of time. But for as of now, week 3, let's end it. Woozy, white boy. Take us on out of here.
You do.